Hey everyone, this is Cody with Apostle Design. So today I'm going to do an install of my 15-degree mounts into my Pioneer here, just to kind of show you all how to do the install. So basically I'm going to mount these pods back up in this cubby hole, and I'm going to mount them to the side of the machine here, just like so. And anyway, I'm gonna have to take some pieces off, and then I'll show you how I get to it and where to drill. Stay tuned. So once you've removed all the countless popper rivets here, just like this, and all around, you can remove this fender flare, remove the doors, and you have access to, underneath your dash. And then what we're looking for is access to the back side of here so that we can mount our pods. So anyway, next I'm going to figure out where I need to put my holes at, and drill holes and start mounting these pods. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is, because I want to mount my pod on a relatively flat surface, is I'm gonna make a hole. I'm gonna make a hole here as close as I can to this this part right here, so that I can mount so I can make my first hole in my pod before I actually make a second. So I can do some measurements, but that'll give me my reference point. The pods again are going to mount somewhat like this, and so I need a starter hole for my reference point, and that's what I'm going to mark and drill first. Okay, so I've went ahead and just placed my first hole. I just got it pretty close to center, and then I went in and set my pod up there and got it how I liked it here, and then went through the hole back there and made a mark where my first hole is going to be. And so that's where my first hole is going to be. So then I want to look and see, okay, now how far back do I have as far as material goes in order to make my second hole. So I want to make it pretty close to the back. So it looks like I've got about, if I burn an inch or two here, I'll just burn it at 3. Looks like I've got, looks like I want to make it about maybe, depending on how big a hole, maybe an inch and a half or inch and 3/4 away from the other one. So then I'm going to go up here and I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to measure from the hole that I've created here back an inch and 3/4. I'm going to drill a hole, and then I'm going to ascribe the same mark for my second hole. I'm going to do that now and be right back. Okay, so now I've got my holes scribed for my 2 holes, and I'm going to go ahead and drill those and get this thing ready to mount. Okay, so I got my holes marked and drilled, and I've got some screws that I'm using to mount here. Some people might use a little heavier screws. These are just kind of what I had laying around for the install, but they should be good. And then I'm going to go ahead and bolt this guy up, and once I get it bolted up, I'm going to drill a hole for my speaker wire and mount my speakers. So just like that, it's coming along. This is super easy. Okay, so I've got my pod. I've got it installed. Again, I'm using, I believe these are number 8 screws, and I actually had this backer plate that I had printed. It just happened to be about the right length, so it kind of holds my screws. It's not necessarily necessary, but anyway, I've got it installed. I've got my screws in. This thing is super secure. I'm really happy with the way it's sitting in here. There's virtually no wiggle in it. And anyway, I'm gonna continue with drilling my hole for my speaker wire and mounting the speaker. Be right back. Okay, so I've mounted the speaker. I held the speaker up here and used my drill to drill four small pilot holes once I got everything aligned like I wanted it to. That's just the way I did it. You can use the template that comes with the speakers if you want to, however you want to do it. Like I said, I got a nice sturdy mounting surface. I'm really happy with that. I drilled a hole there to run my speaker wires through this backer plate. And so what I'll end up doing is going in there and filling that up with some waterproof silicone. And then I'll end up taking the terminals and I'll put them in the terminal protector that comes with the kicker speakers, and I'll end up zip tying that back to the frame here. And once I get the other side installed, I will test the speakers before I do anything else, before I put it all back together and figure out there's something wrong. And so yeah, that's how easy it is to install these. I'm not going to do the passenger side because it's just going to be a repeat, but you know, there's several different applications in where you could install this 15-degree mounted pod, and this is just one of, you know, endless ways you can get this done. And I hope this helped y'all see how this can be installed and gives you some ideas for your project. Thanks for watching.